The body of a young mother was found on the railway track. The police insist it was an accident, but shortly before her death, the terrified young woman called her parents, pleading for them to come and take her from the station. Who was chasing the poor soul? Don't miss out. The victim's ghost will reveal the whole truth to the psychics. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a project of exclusively true and shocking stories. People who call themselves clairvoyants use their supernatural abilities to investigate resonant criminal cases and unbelievable paranormal phenomena. In the autumn of 2015, an awful tragedy occurred in a small Ukrainian village. Albina Zelenska, an 18-year-old student, was hit by a train in mysterious circumstances.
I just remember seeing her face and her legs separately. Oh my God, how much pain she must have been in.
It was some cruel fate. The young woman died on her daughter's birthday.
That day, she called us, and we laughed a lot. We had no idea such a tragedy would happen.
That evening, everyone at home was waiting for Albina. Her parents, guests, and her little daughter, Tanya, who was turning 2. The young mom was supposed to arrive any minute, but she never made it home. At 6:20 p.m., Albina was found dead on the tracks near the village's railway station. Her death came as a shock for the family.
Oh God, please tell me it's not true.
Nothing had hinted at the impending tragedy. That morning, as usual, Albina rode her bike to the bus stop by the railway. There she left her bike at her acquaintance's place and took the bus to the nearby town, where she studied at the agricultural school. Around 6 p.m., she returned from school. This is the stop where she got off the bus. She needed to cross the tracks to get to where she'd left her bike.
Everyone crosses the tracks there to get to the other side.
A freight train was standing on the tracks, waiting for the switch to be thrown. After the train moved, the driver didn't even notice it had hit someone. There were no witnesses to the tragedy. The passengers from the last bus that Albina arrived on went in the other direction.
A commuter train was following the locomotive, and its driver discovered the body on the tracks.
According to the forensics, the girl's torso was severed in 2 by the train. Death was instantaneous.
No one could ever think that this would happen. Oh my God.
The investigators concluded that the girl had tried to climb between the train cars. They classified Albina Zelenska's death as an accident.
Albina's parents, Luda and Yaroslav Galkin, don't believe it was an accident. After all, just 15 minutes before the tragedy, their daughter called her mother, her voice filled with fear, saying she was scared.
She said, "Mom, I'm scared. Tell Dad to meet me."
What's more, Albina's family says she was terrified of trains. She would go out of her way to avoid them and would never have stepped onto the tracks, seeing a moving train.
She would say, "I'd rather take a long detour than go near a train."
It was also strange that the girl's body was found on the tracks facing away from her home.
Why was she lying facing away from the house?
It seems that Albina reached the courtyard where her bike was, but for some reason she turned back without it. It's odd that she went down onto the tracks here, 30 meters from where everyone usually crosses.
This means that Albina crossed the railroad tracks twice. First, from the bus stop towards her home, and then, for some reason, back in the opposite direction. Something, or someone, made her turn back.
The investigator kept telling me it was an accident.
The investigators simply chose not to bother themselves with finding explanations for the inconsistencies. When Albina's parents mentioned their daughter being scared, the detective's reaction was strange.
He told me she just felt her death.
As such, the criminal case was closed due to the absence of a crime.
What's most surprising is that, having died under such horrific circumstances, Albina appears in her family's dreams, saying terrifying things.
She told me more than once, "I'm not alone."
Albina's parents want to know what really happened to their daughter on her little girl's birthday.
I really want to reach out to the psychics for help.
Psychics Elena Kurilova and Rubina Cibulska have agreed to help the family. They will work with unique footage. Albina's friends recorded these scenes just hours before her death.
I see a girl with a blindfold on. She's searching for something. I don't understand. Is it a man or a woman removing the blindfold? She's scared. There's someone faceless in front of her.
When I tuned into Albina, I saw a girl in a white dress. She enters a white room and sees some writing in red on the wall. She moves closer, trying to read what it says, but she can't. The letters seem to be dripping down the wall like paint. It's all very ominous.
Elena, someone is standing behind you. Who is it? The connection is lost.
We couldn't reach Elena Kurilova for a long time. An hour later, the psychic called herself.
What happened?
The power went out and I lost my mobile signal. Thank God everything's working again.
I saw a shadow behind you.
I felt a chill run down my spine. And I heard the phrase, "The truth will be revealed when water flows."
The psychics have arrived in the village where Albina lived with her little daughter, parents, 3 younger brothers, and a sister. She divorced her husband last summer. As psychics approach the family home, they're met by the villagers. These people also doubt that Albina's death was an accident.
Everyone is here for justice.
Hello.
Hello. We've been waiting for you.
Look into the mirror. I need to tune in.
Give me your hand. The card. I'm not alone. Then, in the courtyard, I felt the presence of the girl's spirit. She's saying no. No, I didn't do it myself. My kitty. Did she say that to you?
Yes.
Yaroslav, in my mirror, I see you standing on the railway tracks. And at that moment, your daughter's body.
On that horrific evening when Albina called her family in a panic, her father rode his bike to meet her.
I got to where she always left her bike. It was there, but she wasn't.
I stayed home and worried. I kept calling her, but she wasn't answering. That had never happened before.
My son-in-law called me, crying, shouting, "Mom, Albina's gone. The train cut her in half."
The train runs over your daughter's body right in front of your eyes.
The commuter train passed by and another train was coming. I shouted, "Stop!" But no one stopped.
Did the police not allow you to take her away?
While the police were working on the site, Albina's body lay on the tracks, and trains continued to pass by.
Oh God, why didn't you tell me?
I didn't want you to know. Luda! They wouldn't let anyone go near her. They held us back, saying it was dangerous. I was shouting, "Stop the train!" But no one listened.
Yaroslav, you have different energies. A stranger is standing in front of me, claiming to be her father.
I adopted her when she was 4.
So you're her stepfather.
Yes, I am.
Liuda met her first husband, Renat, when she was 17. He was visiting his relatives in their village.
He came from Astrakhan. He's Kazakh by nationality. We started living together, and then Albina was born.
The young family moved to the father's homeland, but he turned out to be a tyrant and raised his hand against his wife. Finally, Luda took her daughter and returned to Ukraine to her parents.
We ran away.
Soon after, Lyuda met Yaroslav. He adored her little daughter. Lyuda herself couldn't believe such luck. They have been together for almost 15 years now.
She remembers her happy childhood and the love you gave her. Wait a second. Honey bun. Honey bun.
Honey Bunny.
Is this her daughter? The girl?
Albina adored her little daughter, Tanya.
She loved her child so much, she'd do anything for her.
2-year-old Tanya doesn't yet understand that she no longer has a mother.
Luda. You're holding her. There's a coffin. And from the coffin, you're handing her over to a man.
Yes, they took Tanya at the funeral.
Is Tanya's biological father Albina's husband?
The ex-husband. They divorced. They took her and left. I thought I was going to lose my mind. She's my blood.
After Albina's death, her ex-husband, 23-year-old Andriy Zelensky, moved their daughter to his home, where he lives with his parents.
Do you have photos of him?
Yes.
I see him standing with a dead person in front of him. We need to see him. Where is he now?
At work.
It turned out that Albina's ex-husband works as a locksmith at a gravel plant. We arranged a meeting with him.
Hello. We're here about Albina.
I saw you standing. It was dark, night. And there was a body at your feet. Did you kill your wife?
No, I fought in the war in the East.
In the war?
Yes.
And was there an explosion or torn bodies? Rubina, that's where your vision comes from.
When we were there, yes, a guy was killed near me. And she felt it. It surprised me a lot. Not many people know about it.
Her love for you. She loved you very much. She married you for love.
Yes.
So why did you divorce?
Well, we had a stupid fight.
What was the reason for the fight?
Could we talk about this privately?
Sure.
Albina met Andriy, who was 5 years older than her, when he returned from the army. They were introduced by friends. Andriy saw the young beauty and immediately fell in love. Soon after, they got married. Tanya was born. They bought a house, paying for it in installments.
Did you have those crazy jealousies?
Yes, I loved her. I loved her madly. The jealousy started when she went to study at the technical school.
Andriy was drafted to serve in the army. It was hard for Albina to be alone with her baby daughter. Her parents and cousin Slava helped her. The young man chopped wood and fetched water from the well. Andriy found out about this.
He started getting jealous of Slava. She said, "But he's my cousin. What are you talking about? They grew up together, and they were always together as kids."
I clearly heard the phrase, "I'll kill you." Do you understand?
Well, maybe somewhere, sometime, something like that slipped out.
Nothing in life is worth killing someone over.
In the summer, Andriy came home on leave, and that's when they divorced.
Until the last day, even until the last day when we were divorcing, we were still together.
You went to divorce together and then you came back together.
That's how it happened.
You loved her, damn it. You know, I feel like you still love her.
I do.
He thought when he came back from the war, he'd talk to Albina and apologize.
Where were you when it happened?
In the East. When I found out, I went home immediately.
There was someone there. It wasn't Andriy. I'm more than sure it wasn't Andriy.
So who is responsible for the death of 18-year-old Albina Zelenska?
I see her.
The cards keep falling all day.
She just knocks the cards out of my hands, you see? I'm afraid of this person. We needed to look for a man.
Who is this man the clairvoyant is talking about?
Let's go to the place where it all happened. We need to reconstruct the events of that evening.
The psychics and Albina's relatives go to the bus stop, from where Albina walked to the railway tracks.
Here's the stop. She stopped here. She got off.
Off the bus.
Yes.
She wasn't alone. Somewhere here, a man was waiting for Albina. He wasn't very young, about 30 years old. She was afraid of him, and he was somehow involved in her death.
What happened in the last half hour of Albina's life? Why was she scared? Who was she afraid of? And who is the man the clairvoyant sensed?
The eyes. Someone is watching her, fear, panic. She's walking, but she has something in her hands and it's glowing.
Maybe she was shining her phone.
Did she call you?
Yes, she did.
She understood that someone was following her. She said, "I'm scared."
Yes, and then the call cut off.
She's going that way.
She's running. A house, a strange house.
Did she run across the tracks?
There are no trains here. She ran over there.
There's a bicycle on the hill.
Let's go there.
Oh Lord, I told you something was off here. Oh God.
The psychics are following Albina's path. Here is the house where she left her bicycle.
Her hand didn't touch the bike, you see?
Why?
He blocked her way here.
He told her he knew her, but she saw him for the first time.
Yes. Let's go back. I felt he said unpleasant things to her and definitely wanted something from her. It wasn't money, so it wasn't a robbery. I sensed just animal fear. Albina was petrified. She turns around and runs back where there are people. There are no lights, nothing here.
Yaroslav, I told you someone was running after her.
And now down here, here's the path.
She turned from this spot.
Then it started to rain. The truth will come out when water flows.
This is where it happened, neither higher nor lower.
I see Albina's body lying here, and her head is that way.
Oh, 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 my dear baby.
Bring water.
Liuda. She really wasn't alone. He grabbed her, but she broke free and ran. There was already a train here. She could only run under the train from violence, death, or sheer panic. You understand? He made her run here.
It's unbearable to imagine what these people are feeling. Right now, the very train that killed their Albina is passing by.
It's as if her death just flew by, you know.
I had the same vision again that I saw the day before the investigation, when the blindfold was removed from the girl's eyes, and there was fear in her eyes because she saw someone faceless in front of her. It means she hadn't seen his face before.
She didn't see him. Did they happen to communicate online?
They communicated online, and he was extracting all the information from her.
It was as if something fell, but there's nothing there.
You heard it. A card fell. But there's no card.
Because we're talking about him.
She says, it's a man. He's older than I am. He has bad, evil intentions.
Elena, he had already tried to arrange a meeting with her, you understand? But she refused, and he told her, I'll find you anyway. And when she saw him, she knew who it was.
He lives nearby. He knows this area and its surroundings. And again, I saw the white room where the girl was trying to read bloody red letters on the wall. Now I could see her face. It was Albina, and the word was murderer. Her murderer was from the internet. They chatted online, and there was no photo of him, meaning she couldn't recognize him.
Yes. There was someone. She chatted with someone without a profile photo.
we managed to access Albina Zelenska's social media pages. In her direct message box, there's indeed a chat with a stranger who suggests that they meet, and there's no photo on his page.
This may be a coincidence, but we urge the police to pay attention to this striking fact.
Now, I understand why Elena's internet connection broke when we were talking via Skype. It was a hint from Albina. I believe the shadow I saw behind Elena then was her spirit. God will punish him, and now we must say farewell to her and let her go, because you've already cried for her enough. You're very good parents.
Thank you.
The horrific death of a young girl due to carelessness. If this story impressed you, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. There are even more shocking investigations by the psychics coming up. A decapitated woman's body in the woods. Who is responsible for the gruesome act? Don't miss out. The shocking revelation and the penitence of the deceased woman's daughter. The victim's ghost will reveal the whole truth about her death to the psychics. Mother missing. This young woman posted these desperate flyers on the streets of her town. Her name is Olha. In the fall of 2017, everyone was searching for her mother, Elena, who went missing under mysterious circumstances.
It was an ordinary Saturday. She left after 2 o'clock. A friend had called her there and they talked, so I thought she went with her.
Olha lived in the same apartment with her mother and her little daughter, whom she raises alone. As such, when Elena didn't return home a few hours later, Olha called her, but it turned out that her mother had left her phone at home, and the friend who had spoken to her earlier that day hadn't seen her. Where could the woman have gone?
She called me to say her mother had disappeared. I asked, what do you mean she disappeared?
Desperate, Olha called all her mother's friends, but no one had seen her. After that, she went to the police.
At the police station, they told Olha that as an adult, her mother might have gone somewhere without informing her daughter. However, they still accepted Olha's application and initiated the search.
Olha, burdened with her little daughter, was on the verge of panic. She didn't know what to do. Her mother's colleagues were also worried when they didn't see her at work on Monday. The woman was the best design engineer in the town and took her job very seriously.
Dozens of people joined the search for Elena. Her daughter, friends, colleagues, and neighbors. But it was all in vain.
Ola's mother seemed to vanish into thin air. Then, a month after her disappearance, a phone call shattered Ola's heart. Her mother was found, dead.
Elena Hrishina's body was discovered by a man who was picking mushrooms in a forest outside the town, 5 kilometers from her home.
The investigators decided not to cause extra stress for Olha and instead invited Elena's friend for the identification because her body was in a horrifying state.
I'm still shocked.
Why the woman ended up so far from home or how she got into that forest remains a mystery. No public transport runs there. There are no even bus stops or people's homes in the area.
The family doesn't own a car. The few taxi drivers in the small town didn't pick her up.
The cause of Elena's death is also unclear, as her body lay in the forest for over a month.
Her face was completely gone. From the photos, I could see that she was lying there without her head.
The locals were horrified. Could someone have decapitated her on purpose?
We were all shocked.
No murder weapons were found near the body, nor were there any traces of blood. This may suggest that Elena was killed elsewhere, and her body was later transported and dumped in the forest. But anyway, the motive remains unclear to me.
Elena left home without any jewelry on, or her phone. She didn't take her wallet either. According to her daughter, she had no enemies. She never borrowed or lent money. Then why would anyone want to kill her mother? Did she have a spontaneous conflict with someone? Or did she witness something that led to such a brutal murder? To find out what happened to her mother, Olha went to the police station. She wanted to review the case materials, but was denied access.
They said I didn't fit the victim profile, even though I do. And they said I didn't need it, that I'm nobody.
As it turns out, they closed the case altogether.
The criminal investigation was closed due to the absence of evidence of a criminal offense.
There are no results from the examination. The cause of death remains unknown. So why did they close Elena Hrishina's case?
But even if Olha's mother died naturally, How did she end up so far away from home?
Why was she found over there in the woods?
Olha can't come to terms with the idea that she'll never see her mother again.
I miss your support, your words, and your hugs.
I want the murderer to be found. I have no hope in the police.
She was a very, very kind person. We want to know who did this.
Our project's experts, Zhana Shulikova and Olga Kalinova, embark on the investigation of the woman's mysterious death.
I saw Elena being strangled by a man.
Was Elena really strangled? But who did this and why?
While working with her photo, I didn't notice the mother, but I saw her daughter. She didn't look like in the photo, though. Her hair was gray and she was dead. I can't say what it means yet.
The next morning, the psychics arrive at the place where the victim's daughter lives. She's waiting for them, along with her mother's friend.
Hello.
Hello.
The cards are telling me that you know what happened to your mother. She told you everything while you were sleeping.
Yes, I had a dream. She said someone murdered her.
Did she tell you who her murderer was?
This is horrific, but who and why took her life?
I see a strange image. Elena is holding a heart in her hands, and there is a knife sticking out of the heart.
Strange. Zhana Shulikova had seen male hands around Elena's neck. Could she have been strangled and then stabbed? However, the police didn't find any knife wounds on the body. Then why was her head severed?
The cards indicated that the woman's death was connected to people close to her. If only I had known what that meant.
To find out what happened to your mother, we need to talk to her spirit.
We need to go to the cemetery.
Sure.
I felt the touch of a dead young woman on my hand. The woman whose spirit I see is like a mirror image of her. How can this be?
My sister.
It turned out that Olha had a twin sister who died 6 months before their mother. Did that mean I'd seen her the other day? With your sister's death, you lost a part of yourself, as you were twins, and there was a strong, energetic connection between you.
When she died, I didn't want to live.
Here is her grave.
Olha's two dearest people are buried side by side.
What was your sister's name?
Galina.
Why did she die?
The doctors said because of the heart.
A young woman of 23 unexpectedly dies from a heart attack. How is this even possible?
She had no heart problems. She never complained about anything.
There's a man who has something to do with your sister's death. A few days before her death, she was terrified. Someone was watching her.
A shocking revelation. 2 deaths in the family within just 6 months. Could the same person be responsible for the daughter's and mother's deaths?
I see your sister sitting with a piece of paper in her hands. There's a suitcase next to her, but she's dead.
Yes. She studied at a university in the city, majoring in accounting. She was planning to come home, but she never arrived. We found her on the bed, sitting. Then the police and ambulance arrived.
It's awful. For 3 days, nobody knew that the student's lifeless body was in her dorm room.
I can't imagine what your mother went through.
It was a heavy blow for her.
After her daughter's sudden death, the woman seemed to lose the will to live. She didn't eat or drink, and she spent her days weeping at her daughter's grave.
It was a very hard time for her.
Wait, why do I see Galina lying in the coffin with her hair fair?
She turned gray.
Like I saw in my vision. Your sister's hair turned gray a few days before her death.
2 days before it happened, she called me and said her hair had turned gray. I thought it was just a single gray hair, like I occasionally have. But then when I saw that her hair was completely gray, I got scared.
She was going to come home to tell her mother what had happened to her, but she was late.
Yes, she wanted to talk.
Galina's spirit didn't reveal who was responsible for her death. She kept covering her face with her hands and crying. I decided to connect with the spirit of her mother.
Elena's spirit came, but for some reason, she remained silent, just like her daughter. It struck me as very strange that she didn't say who killed them. They only showed me the image of a window with a woman who resembled your mother, holding flowers.
There's Elena's portrait in Olha's apartment. And there are flowers in that picture.
I gave her those flowers for her birthday.
It seems like a clue. We need to check your apartment. I'm having a vision. A young man is strangling your mother. He's shouting, "I'll kill you!" It's all happening in the apartment. Show us where you live. Hello? I was shocked. The man from my vision, the one that strangled Elena, was standing in front of us.
What's your name?
Vitaly.
And how are you related to Olha?
I came to visit my family.
It turns out this is the father of Olha's daughter. She says their relationship is hard to define as a family. Vitaly lives in other town and only visits his daughter once every few months.
Explain to me, please, why your hands were around her mother's neck.
My hands weren't around her neck.
They were. Did her mother complain about him?
Of course she did.
What did she say?
That he strangled her. 10 days before Elena disappeared, he arrived here. And he tried to strangle her.
But he denies everything.
Olha swears she didn't witness Vitaly strangling her mother, but when she learned about it from her mother's friend, she tried to find out what had really happened.
All right, Vitaly, tell the truth.
Look.
It's unbelievable. The picture of Elena almost fell off the wall in front of everyone.
And I got so scared.
Elena wants you to tell the truth.
Do you know why he tried to strangle her? To get the apartment?
That's not true.
But Vitaly, it is true. He threatened her, saying that Olha was registered in the apartment and she should give it to him.
Did you say you would kill her?
I never said that. We argued, yes, and I expressed my personal opinion.
He tried to evict your mother from her own home. She was very frightened.
He threatened her, saying he'd kill her. Elena kicked him out and he said it right to her face. "I'll kill you." Elena went to the police 3 times, but they didn't react.
It's terrible. Did Elena's would-be son-in-law really threaten to kill her?
As far as I understand, your sister was also registered in this apartment, right?
Yes.
Did Vitaly know where your sister lived?
Yes.
Vitaly found out that the 3 women lived in the apartment and had nobody to protect them. I told him, "You got rid of Galina and then of Elena." I said it into his face.
I decided to talk to Galina's spirit. I need something that belonged to her.
Do your tricks.
These are not tricks. I see everything.
She came to tell the truth about her death. But why does she say she's not like everyone else?
My sister was born with cerebral palsy.
Olha says that when they were born, the doctors claimed that one of the twins would never be able to walk.
But Mom did the impossible with all those massages.
Your mother devoted her life to your sister's health.
Did your mother raise you alone? Did your father abandon her?
Elena got pregnant, and when he found out it was twins, he immediately left.
It was extremely hard for your mother, but she never gave up. She dedicated herself to both of you.
But are the deaths of Elena and her daughter really Vitali's fault?
Helena's spirit is here. She's showing me a man harassing her. He wants to rape her.
It's not true. I never lay a finger on her.
Quiet. Your sister says, I didn't know the man who harassed me.
At the same time, Olha's sister knew Vitali, so it means he didn't kill her.
Olha, did she tell you anything about the man who harassed her?
Yes. She told me that while she was waiting for a bus at a stop, a man approached her and offered her sex. She burst into tears.
The man stalked her. He threatened to kill her, and then he assaulted her. She managed to escape at the last moment. Helena was so stressed that she turned gray overnight.
But she couldn't survive the shock. The poor girl's heart stopped from the stress.
The cards told me that the man who tried to rape Helena had no connection to her mother's death. So perhaps Vitali isn't indeed involved in her death.
I didn't touch her mother.
I don't see blood on him.
The workers of the railway depot where Vitali works confirm his alibi.
Olha, even after her death, your mother doesn't want you to be with Vitali.
Mom never liked him.
Why?
Because he never helped. Mom paid for everything.
And what do you do for this child?
I help as much as I can.
I sensed that Vitali had someone else. He lies to you. He has another woman. And he gives all his money to her.
So what?
He made sure I fell in love with him. I trusted him. How stupid I was.
A good husband he is. Your mother's spirit wanted us to help you, Olha. Find out the truth about Vitali. She suffered a lot because such a man was around you. But we still needed to find out what happened to the woman. The last place where we could get information was the forest where her body was found. I'm tuning into the day when she disappeared. I hear a quarrel. Elena argues with someone. It's you, Olha.
Yes, because of Vitali.
It turned out that whenever the mother tried to warn her daughter about Vitali, Olha, blinded by love, would defend him. As such, she would often argue with her mother.
I see that she's alone. It's not a murder.
After the investigation by the psychics, the police, detectives confirmed this version based on a series of forensic examinations.
The woman was not a victim of violence.
According to the forensics, the woman's head separated from the body itself as a result of decay.
Then what happened to Elena? How come her body was found in the woods?
Your mother left home in emotional chaos and wandered into the unknown.
She didn't even realize how far she had gone. She simply wanted to be alone. She cried all the time because inner pain tore her apart. Her life had been so difficult.
What do the clairvoyant's words mean? Could it be suicide?
There was someone else your mother argued with that day.
It's an elderly woman.
She argued with Grandma, too.
As it turned out, earlier on the day of her disappearance, Elena visited her 80-year-old mother and returned home in tears.
She said she wasn't the daughter she was supposed to be and that Helena died because of her. She said she hadn't lived up to her expectations.
She says, "I didn't take my own life. A strong woman like her wouldn't commit suicide. Your mother didn't understand how she was supposed to go on living. She lost faith. Her two most precious people, her daughters, were both gone. One was taken by death, and the other turned away from her. Even her mother considered her a failure. She felt unwanted. Elena experienced bitter disappointment and loneliness. She couldn't bear it. Her heart broke. I saw the wounded heart at the beginning of the investigation. She died because she lost the purpose of life. She's here now," she says. "Olha, I love you so much, and I want you to be happy. May your heart not break like mine did. You have to change your life."
I think I really need to break up with that man because there's no future with him.
Your mother left you hope. Live your life for yourself and for your sister.
If you're impressed by the story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more amazing investigations are coming up.